Now that we have our questions and our images and our answers right, there's three more variables we need to have an indication of what the answer is. One is because we're making a test, we're going to use score. The index of the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll set that to 0 initially. Shove another text. And then we're also going to need the current answer index 4 here. That tells us that 1, 2, 3, 4 is the correct answer. And then finally, we're going to have a couple of operating systems that we'll put in here. Let me fill them in. And as you can see, for the question, and then we'll say current question. I've got iOS, BlackBerry, Android, and Windows Phone, and the answer is 3. So 1, 2, 3, it's Android. Good work. We'll look next. Now, of course, you've got to remember, the question index we're going to use just like we did for the President's Quiz. The answer index is going to come in handy because it's basically going to be the length of the list, right? It'll be this last value. Whatever this one is, we're going to read it into this value. So we'll know when we go through the answer for the first question, we will know that the current answer index is 1, and the current answer index for number 2, or item 2 when it's that question, will be number 4, and so on. Those are the variables that we need. Now let's start moving into some of the button behavior. I guess before you do that, we should actually do the screen initialize event because that's when we start up, right? When the screen starts, the first thing we need to do is set the current question index to 1. And that's easy enough. So we go current question index, we grab it, we say set, then we put this to a 1. Okay, and then we also want to set the image picture to the very first image because we're going to restart. So let's go and do that. And we say image, and then we say set picture. And then actually, let's just pick it from a list. So if we go list, we say get list item, select list item. What list do we want? We want the picture list. We'll grab that. And what index do we want? We want the current question index, which is 1 in this particular instance because we just set it. So that'll set the image. And then we want to make sure that the next button is not enabled, right? Because if we go back here, there's a button. We select answer. Oh, we don't even have a next button yet. We need to fix that. Actually, when I look at this, if we're going to force people to get their questions and they're going to select them, we don't actually need to do a next button, do we? That will come automatically. What we want to do is go in here and forget about setting a next image. What we want to do is set the question label. Let's go and find our question label, label question. We're going to set the text. What do we want to set the text to? Well, of course, we want to set it to the text, not from our picture list, but from our question list. So now when the screen initializes, it'll come up and it will give us a question, it'll set the picture, and it'll set everything back to 1. That's exactly right. Actually, as I'm thinking about this, I want to be able to tell the user if they get it right or wrong. So we really are going to need to have a next button in here. So let's go and do this. We'll go back to the user interface, we'll grab a button, let's put it down here. We'll call this the next button. Rename next. And the value is going to be next. And let's make it as wide as our screen. Make it bold. But we want to hide it because if we show it, they might skip a question. So let's just go and say showing, hidden. Perfect. So now if we come back, we initialize our screen, we in fact do want to say that the next button is enabled. Let's set it to false. So we really don't have to hide it. Let's just not make it enabled. How about that? So now we've got the next button here, button next, and we're going to say showing, but we're going to make it disabled. Okay, so now it's not enabled, and our restart button we're going to rename to restart. That way we've got everything set up. Good work. Now let's go back to our behavior and see how we handle when we start clicking on some of these.